is it what in the Bible did God say about dating? Where did God ever put dating? Is there something like dating in the Bible? Who ever dated in the Bible? Maybe. I mean, I'm just interested to hear. Maybe there's someone who is asking themselves that question.
I've read the Bible. I've someone written dating.
Yeah.
I haven't. But the only thing I know is God made it clear that he who find a wife find a good thing. But there was no that point of he who find a wife after how long. Yeah? So there was no that clear point.
It's important to then, in this season as we are waiting as young people, know that first God is working on you. Don't waste that time as a young person. I think that's really what the heart of what we're saying is, let's allow God to really just work on us in that time so that it doesn't be a wasted time. That in your waiting season uko tu na randa uko kila mahali, you're taking so many people on coffees, you're going to different coffee places, unaanza kwa sasa coffee machine, So,
Really? Oh my God.
On a light note, but really, like, it should be very intentional. I think, even in that season, should be very intentional. God deals with it, because I think what Zach has mentioned is important. And when I speak to some of my friends who are in that space, in the married space, they as well tell you that you come into that marriage as a whole package. You're marrying this person as well as a whole package, right? And it's not half plus half becoming one, but it's 1 + 1 becoming one. That's the kind of math that actually God uses. And so it's really important that God really works on you to be that one and whole person as well. But I think just you brought an interesting aspect that I'm also just now asking myself, okay, then is there something like umengoja sana? Because there are some who are intentionally probably waiting just for so long. Maybe amefunga tu jam for the sake of kufunga. Is there something like that? Everyone is just waiting in their own different, unique way.
I think for me there is nothing kungoja sana. I think there is nothing. If God said that I'll get someone today and next day I'll get married, and I'm fully convicted that is what the Lord is saying, I wouldn't count that nimengoja sana. But your point here, let us not look at kungoja sana. Let us look at what am I doing as I wait. What am I doing as I wait? So I might be there, like I is it Brenda or Sarah that says point of you just sitting waiting. Honestly, God, I don't know, but God will not come all the way. I could drop here. Why that baby
That's what we sometimes pray for.
I think the way
this is that person.
But the waiting,
aleta tu kwa mlango. And then it's
but
like,
the waiting here
I'm the man.
The waiting here is, what are you doing? What are you doing? Perhaps marriage. I don't think marriage has exact point that where exact age that when you get at 30 or 35, whichever you need to get married. I don't think so. I think we shouldn't look at I've waited for long. No, we should look at what am I doing as I wait. That period of waiting, what am I doing? So,
and I think it's based on how does man view time, how does God view time. So when you're saying I'm waiting too much, that means that then you're getting tired of waiting. So if the way God redeems and restores time, and so I think we shouldn't be looking at it like that, and not carry singlehood as a burden, and not carry waiting as a burden. And also just having this conversation also helps to reduce societal pressure. But now as YP, let me ask, because we have people who are between 25, 35, people who are in their careers, people who have already know they're gonna be single for the rest of their life, so who do not want to have children. How do we then as a community provide a space for them to thrive in?
That's interesting. Because they exist.
Yes.
We're in church and it's the reality. Those people are there. And just to, especially just maybe to add on that before I answer that question, I think what we are talking about for young Christians is, we're not talking about mtu mwenye, you know, like you're just bitter, you're like, I'm never going to get married. No, this is someone who is very comfortable with where they are, you know. So as YP, I think what we can do is also just create a safe space where they can as well, you know, feel like, yes, this is this place. These are my brothers, these are my sisters. I don't feel judged, you know. So that when someone walks in and then, you know, when you're like, how we usually have our group discussions and someone says, maybe me, I don't want to get married, you're like, what? I need to run away from that person. No, and as an ambukiza, no, it's just that it's someone's. It's someone's decision. And as you pray, you know, praying God, bring me this partner, prepare me when you also pray to God to help this person who's decided this is my journey, that God may really come through for them. That would anything that comes their way, that they are able to, you know, just transition in vizuri kabisa. So it's also just praying for them here. Yeah.
I think also that's why I still get to the point of conviction. One of the things that I need to understand is God's purpose, right?
Yes.
And one of God's purpose is companionship and raising a godly family. So a godly family here is perhaps your wife, let's say your wife and your children. So God wants you to have to fulfill his purpose as much as marriage is concerned. But you here, you're like, God said, I want to be single. Are you really convicted that God said you want to be single? Because the other side, God is saying, you have to fulfill my purpose as much as marriage is concerned. Raise a godly family, the children and all that. So, again, not that it's bad, there are those marriages that people are in marriage, but they don't have children. Maybe they decided not to, or they decided, like, let's not have children. Or perhaps someone is in a healthy situation that she cannot bear a child. So I think if you hear fully from God that just get into marriage but you not get children, and you are fully convicted that this is what God has said, and even the person marrying you should know that God said that I'm not going to get children, and at the same time this person need to also be convinced that my wife will not get children or will live without children. So I think when God speaks, we'll need to have the heart of hearing clearly that it is God, not Mark saying it is God, not the doctor saying that but it's God.
Yeah.
But you know, the other point is, Zach, that sometimes it's not even about biological issues. It's just that someone decides, me and having kids, that's not, I don't see that, you know. So there's also there's someone just choosing, and then there's someone, of course, because of one or two things they're not able to.
But what brings you to the point of you choosing I don't want to?
Okay.
Maybe you do not have just the natural desire to have children. You know, that is a very common thing these days. That personally, I've never even thought of having children. I've never thought of having a wedding. People never think of, you know, girls grow up knowing like details about my wedding, A to Z. But people who actually grow up, zero desire. And so that is not something that they have visualized for themselves.
Oh, okay. So what comes in when fulfilling God's purpose as much as raising a godly family? But I think it's a choice. It's a choice. So I don't know. For me, I think it's a choice. It's hard, a difficult one. Yeah. But
now, how do we give them support when they're part of us?
I think we need to embrace them. The part of the Bible that says we represent God. So there's the part of the Bible that says that if I claim that I love my brother and my sister, yet I love God, yet I don't love my brother and sisters. Who are my brother and sisters? So loving God is loving my brother and sisters. So we need to embrace these people. We need to make them feel part of the team, part of YP. And I think those are the people that we are actually looking for, so that they don't feel like they are left outside there. They don't feel alone. So I think embracing them and let them also to understand what the decision that they made is a correct decision. Perhaps someone might make a decision from from bitterness or from whichever thing. But you sitting down with this kind of a person, you make him reveal that anyway, this is what God wants from you. So I think they should be part of us. Actually YP, we don't limit like wewe kama uko na nini usikuje. No, YP is for everyone. I normally tell, when I'm doing onboarding session, I normally tell the people that age should not limit you to join YP. If you're at 22 and you feel you want to join YP, please come. So these people need to feel comfortable. The first thing you need to do, they need to be accountable. We need to be there for them. We need to give them the room to share. Perhaps this person is going through a lot, but the only decision that she can make is, I don't want to get a children. Or there's a trauma from the family, back from the family. Maybe when they are growing up, there's how the dad was used to treat them. So we need to help them to understand. And that's also, I think the church should do such kind of a thing to accommodate them.
Yeah, and I think we are the church. We are the young people. I think it starts with us. I think for so many years I used to think that I will wait for the pastor to come and create that space. I will wait for my church leaders to come and create that space for me. But I think even in my own little way, as just a member, I think there's a way I can create that space around me, with my peers, with my friends, a safe space where people can feel they are connected to other people. They do not, somebody can actually call me out. And it's not just about, also when I'm also caught up in sin, someone can call me out, and with love, and just actually means the best for me, but also somebody can as well be there for me even in my very difficult, and when I'm making difficult decisions, but it's very difficult to make these kind of decisions, even just on your own, without like seeking even some counsel, either from older people, from peers, and all. And so I believe it's also a responsibility for each and every one of us to actually create that space as young people in the church, so that we do not wait for the pastor to come from the pulpit and create that space for us and say, we didn't end up saying that the church doesn't, create that space for young people. But what have I done as my responsibility as Mark to actually create that platform? Because I am also part of that church. I am the church as well. I'm part of the body of Christ. What am I contributing to the same? And I think just even on waiting, even as we of course wind up that topic, there are some people who, who just wonder and are just searching in themselves and desire that, okay, God, then when? What is it that somebody, maybe I've been waiting for 2 years, 1 year, 10 years, and maybe ule mtu mwenye nilikuwa nipita naye for those who don't understand, you pass with them. Is it that person can really just go away? But I just think someone, a mentor of mine a few years ago, just mentioned to me and encouraged me actually in a way. And he says, I think it's something that Brenda or Sarah mentioned, that we do not know how many years, first of all, God wants us to be married. You may say, for me, I'm past 30, and when you get to 30 now, it starts looking like, hey, Appa, it gets to 35, hey, in injury time, So, but he told me that by then you may be 30, but God desires you to be married for 50 years. So that means probably your date is up to 80, but you may be 40, and God desires for you to still be married for the same, and your time on this earth is 90 years. And so I think it's really very paramount that we wait on God, as because the Bible tells us that those who wait on the Lord, they shall not be put to shame. I believe God is not looking to put us to shame as well in any way. And even as young people, I think we should embrace that, that God is not looking out for our shame, but He's looking out for our good. Plans, He has great plans to prosper us. He has great plans to, just give us a hope and a future. And those words in Jeremiah actually really mean a lot, because there's hope. There's a future as well for you that is in God's hands. Is it, what in the Bible did God say about dating? Where did God ever put dating? Is there something like dating in the Bible? Who ever dated in the Bible? Maybe I'm just interested to hear. Maybe there's someone who is asking themselves that question.
I've read the Bible. I've found written dating.
Yeah.
I haven't. But the only thing I know is God made it clear that he who find a wife find a good thing. But there was no that point of he who find a wife after how long. Yeah? So there was no that clear point. But I think it is simple. Let us not put pressure on us. You see, we put pressure on us, then we start claiming that these young people, the wanaume hatuoni, ladies are not seeing, men are not seeing, ladies are not. Yet you put yourself a lot of pressure that even yourself you cannot handle. So I think let us just be focused on God, and God knows each and every single person the day we will get married. God knows, and God already. I think God knows the kind of a person we will marry. So this pressure of I'm 30, or no, my friends who got married the other day. The other day I met another lady in a matatu, and this lady was so stressed up. So talking with someone, a stranger, is very hard sometimes. So I just decided to ask, "Hi, are you okay?" I'm like, "Yes." When a lady says that I'm okay, I ask more questions. She's not okay.
Well, is it true? Is it
Why
true?
you manipulating?
But let the tell. Is it true?
No.
Oh,
It's here to do out.
That's not justify your points.
There is the point of saying I'm okay, but you look at how she's responding, saying I'm okay. So I ask her, "Is everything okay?" No, everything is not. What is it? Then this person is saying that the other day it's just hitted me that I am at 30. I don't have a job. My boyfriend that just dumped me. That's the person I was looking forward to get married to. I'm like, I need a lot of things. There's so many things that's running in my mind, and I don't know. Then I told her, you know what? Forget about marriage for now. Forget about marriage. Just work on yourself. Get a job. Find yourself. Like, am I ready for marriage? Like, even if and I asked her a very important question. Just came to my mind at that particular time. I asked her, are you ready to feel the pain for 9 months? Be pregnant for 9 months, feel the pain for 9 months. Then she was like, wait, kwanza hiyo kupush ndio siwezi. Then I told her, then you're not ready for marriage. Forget about, don't put a lot of pressure on you. And like, I'm 30, my friends have gone, I'm married, my boyfriend dumped me. No, your boyfriend dumped you for you to understand, to get to know who you should get married to. And perhaps that's not the person God assigned you for as a husband. So she was like, she asked me, do you do counseling? I'm like, no, I'm not a counselor. But I pray to I think that's one of the things that God is trying to call me to. I listen a lot to Kingsley Okonkwo. There's a lot of teaching that I'm reading. Even a book says that, who should I marry?
Hey.
Who should I marry? I know I should marry a lady.
This one is getting ready.
Who should I marry?
He's ready to go.
But in that book, that maybe it has given me another question, that academics is one of the things that we should look in a partner. So when I look at that question, the things that I got into that book, believe me, you'll be shocked. Do you want to hear them? Just mention 5. Number 1,
hey.
Christ. There are 10.
Hey.
Christ. Number 2, character. Number 3, compatibility. Companionship, commitment.
Glory.
Should I continue? Then the last amazing one is the conviction. And this conviction comes to the point of, are you convicted with the power of the Holy Spirit that, for example, Brenda here can be my wife? Are you fully convicted? If you're fully convicted, go on. If you hear from her. But if you're not convicted, just come tell Brenda, you know what? Good. I think I'm not convinced that you'll be gonna be. I am sorry, I'm not convinced.
Yeah, and
just to go back to what you were saying about the Bible not talking about dating and all that, I think it doesn't explicitly mention dating, but there are scenarios we see that points to that season of life. Because we see Jacob working for 7 years for Leah, gets Leah, and then goes back and works another 7 to get Rachel that he wanted from the word God. That was waiting. That was a season of
It's a very
waiting.
long season.
Yes. We look at the whole process, Ruth and Boaz and being noticed, making a move, and those are seasons of waiting or periods of waiting and dating, I think. And then we also look at Mary being betrothed to Joseph. No, he was already promised to Joseph. So I think the Bible talks about a marriage, a wedding, and all that. But dating in itself, I think most of the time usually ends up being defined by what is happening around culture and what also we follow what seems to be what our church pushes us towards. So there isn't really a blueprint on how to date. The most important thing for us as Christians is to remember we need to glorify God and to honor God through whatever we're doing. And so those are the things that are very important for us: honoring God and just remaining pure and maintaining purity during that season.
Okay, I think just to try answer that question, I was really interested in knowing, also I want to see where has dating been mentioned, from the Bible, because the Bible is our reference book for everything. And one speaker, I can't remember who that was, said what he thinks the reason why dating is never mentioned in the Bible is because God's intention is not for people to date. God's intention is for you to court and get married. So the intention is not dating. Dating is someone saying, you don't know, you're there with your mind, you're looking at, is this guy right? Okay, but that's not God's intention. God's intention is for you to get married and fulfill his purpose. If in that season.
The word dating, it came from the point of guys going to have a coffee, or I don't know where that word dating came from.
Date.
Or is it because of the coffees? But I
think it's important to just define, But for me, I think dating is, just that's that period where you're actually getting to know somebody, and then now when you actually officially are serious about it, and then now you actually, as a man, you give a kind of proposal that this is the direction I'd like for us to go. You want us to be serious about this. I think now that relationship, for me, I call it courtship, and I believe after that it's marriage. And I think it's a very interesting discussion. I mean, there's so much to talk about in this topic that we may not even be able to exhaust everything. And it's I mean, in this generation, I think what we're really talking about is that may God give us the grace to be patient and wait on Him. As we've said that, those that put wait on the Lord, they shall not be put to shame. And I believe God is really just calling us towards that. And I just want to just wrap this up, and just even you as a young person, just out there, probably you're in a waiting season, you're single, but also probably you're just about to get married. I just want to pray that this conversation has encouraged you. I mean, just also, some of our thoughts are not very extensive, so feel free to engage with us, because we as young people as well would love to just hear from you. So just in the chat box, in the comment section, please get in touch with us, and we'd love to hear from you. And probably in the next After YP, one of these After YPs, we'll read through your comments and we'll be so glad. So thank you so much for joining us. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel here at Young Professionals, Seaton Valley Road, and see you next time.